Basics 23. There's only one more of these to go. It's got a lot of repetition, as all of them do. So here we have a solved log base 5, and I hope this is getting better. I haven't graded the last round of quizzes yet, so I don't really have anything to complain or praise about right now. Anyways, I'm thinking log is bay, which is written right here. So I have a base of 5. I have an argument of 2x minus 9, which leaves the future exponent to be 3. So I'm equivalent to this, b to the e equal a. So I have a base of 5. My exponent is 3, and it must equal 2x minus 9. Now, I've probably saw this a couple weeks back, but I probably saw about 8 kids just stop here. And I don't know why you would stop there, because 5 cubes is 125. Push buttons in a calculator if you have to. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add 9 to both sides. That'd be 134. Then we're going to divide by 2, which should be 67. I think so. I don't know. Anyways, number 2, solve this thing using y1 and y2. And you're supposed to show me how you use y1 using x to the p over r, not some of the shortcuts that are in a calculator. Alright? I know they're there. Don't think you know more than me, because you don't. Anyways, what I'm going to put in y1, I'm going to take everything in there, everything in this side of that radical. I'm going to wrap it in a set of parentheses, and I'm going to raise it to the 1/7, because that is a 7. y2 is simply going to be the right-hand side. And I'm going to push some buttons in a calculator. These are kind of interesting looking graphs. But it's not a hard question. But that being said, a third of the student body will miss it. In the state of Tennessee, probably 60–65% of the student body will miss stuff like this. It's all because of apathy. I wish I could cure apathy. But I struggle with it myself too. You know, I honestly don't really want to be doing this at this hour, bright and early. It's 7 o'clock. I've been working on the twin. But I do it because it's not about me. It's about y'all. Everybody deserves somebody who's willing to put in a little extra time for them. So I put it in y1, put it in y2, second trace 5. I know I went kind of fast on that. Enter, enter, enter. And there's an x value. My guess is the one on the other side is going to be the same thing but positive. It looks like there's symmetry. But I don't want to make assumptions, because we know what assumptions are. So anyways, I was just rounding there. Second trace 5. Get close. Enter 3 times. There's the other one. Same thing, just positive. So there's 2 easy questions. Truthfully, they're all easy. You just don't want to learn the content, or you want to come up with excuses. You want to blame Milbrath. It is known that f of 3 is 0, f of negative 1 is 0, and f of negative 4/3 is 0. What are 3 factors of f of x? So we'll talk about each one of these. This piece right here, f of 3 being 0, literally says x is 3. And if I do a shift left, I would have x minus 3 equals 0. So x minus 3, if I can type, is a factor. And that's all this is changing signs. Same logic right there. X is negative 1. Another factor is x plus 1. Now this one's going to require some work on your end. This says x equals negative 4/3. Then you'd shift left, you'd have x equals 4/3 equals 0. And the factor would not be written like this. What we're going to do is we're going to 3 both pieces of the interior. See that dividing by 3? Going to multiply both pieces by 3. That becomes 3x plus 4. And again, what I did is I took both pieces of the inside and multiplied them by 3. 3x plus 4 thirds times a 3. The 3's cancel, giving me a 4, and then 3x. But there's your 3 factors. I know that seems kind of funny. For some kids, it's not a big deal. For some kids, it just added a whole new level of confusion. But big thing is change signs and then try and figure out what's going on there. All right, solve this one. Answers written in terms of E, get full credit. You're allowed to look back at your first hint. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to divide out our 3. So I'm going to divide this side by a 3 and that side by a 3. And if I divide 18 by 3, I'm quite confident I get a 6. ln has an understood base of E. And let me go back and look at the first hint where it talks about log is bay. E to the 6th, if I could write, equals 5x plus 8. Now we're going to subtract 8 from both sides, and we're going to divide by 5. And there is my correct answer. I'm not even going to mess with y1, y2 on this video. Determine the average rate of change from x equals 3 to x equals 7 using a table. Anyways, using a table. The formula for this is f of b minus f of a, sitting pretty over b minus a. And here's where I get a, and here's where I get b. So the bottom is going to be 7 minus 3, and do the bottom first because then you can do a lineup process. When x is 7, f of 7 is negative 9. Minus because there's a minus. When x is 3, f of negative 3 is negative 4. And negative 9 take away negative 4 is going to be negative 5. And 7 minus 3 is 4. So there's my answer, negative 5/4. Solve this guy using the quadratic formula. I am so tired I don't feel like singing. So that it's x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And you plug some stuff in. That's all you do. Here we have a negative 11. It says opposite of a negative is positive. If you're going to square a negative, just drop the negativity or wrap. A is 3, C is 5, and both pieces, I'll just do it this way, both pieces over twice A. And then you do some math. This one doesn't really clean up too nice. The inside is 121 minus 60, which is 61. Now, if you don't believe me, I'll push some magical buttons over here. We had a negative 11 that was squared. That was minus 4 times 3 times 5. And sure enough, there's a 61 on the inside. 2 times 3 is 6. And this one does not simplify. Root 61 does not simplify, so I'm done. Alright, given f of negative 2 is 0, for f of x equals x cubed plus 4x squared minus 11x minus 30, find all 3 factors. So here's the first one. If f of negative 2 equals 0, x equals negative 2, x plus 2 is a factor. There's 1. I want 3. Now, I'm going to take this little negative 2 and I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to load up the top with my coefficients. I'm going to drop. I'm going to multiply. I'm going to add. I'm going to multiply. I'm going to add. I'm going to multiply. And I'm going to add. Remainder constant xx squared. And then I'm going to rewrite this as an expression that I can factor. That's x squared plus 2x minus 15. And it will factor. Factors of 15 that add to 2 are going to be positive 5 and minus 3. And it takes an x and an x to make an x squared. So here's a factor. Here's 2 more. Found 3 of them. It's really how hard that question is. The fourth term of an arithmetic sequence is 19 and the seventh term is 37. What is the first term? There's lots and lots of ways of doing this. I could do this with formulas if I wanted to. I don't want to. I'm just going to put some numbers here. 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go, 37. I do want to know the first term, so I'm going to count back to 1, 2. And the fourth term was 19. Now, some kids will just sit here and figure out what number they have to add over and over and over and over and over. Well, you can do that, that's fine. 37 minus 19 is what, 18? And it took 3 additions to get that difference. So 18 over 3 is 6, which means I'm adding 6 every time. If I add 6, I'm at 25. If I add 6, I'm at 31. If I add 6 more, I'm at 37. Now I want this guy right here, so I'm going to work left by subtracting. 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. 7 minus 6 is 1. There's the answer. 1. The easiest way to do it is to write it out, think about it, come up with a pattern that works. Alright, we have the, there we go, the completely simplify thing. And you are allowed to multiply the contents inside together. We'll have one large cubic root. 5 times 25 is 125. 11, x to the 11th times x to the 4th is x to the 15th. And y to the 8th times y squared is y to the 10th. Now the cubic root of 125, that'd be 125 to the 1/3 in a calculator. It should be 5. If not, math is broken today. It was, by gosh, it was 5. And start thinking about your individual variables. 3 enters 5, 15, 5 times, x to the 5th. We still have the cubic root of y to the 10th. 3 enters 10 3 times, but there was a remainder of 1. So y cubed, cubic root of y. Easy peasy, Japanesey. This one. I wish every student I had could get this right. But you can't. It's written right there for you, children. Right there. I'm going to do logs this time. I'm going to just make it a base 10 because the 10's understood. Log of 2x plus 1, sitting pretty over log 12, and then minus a 5. This would be log of 5x minus 9, sitting over log of 2, and then plus 1. And then by God, I push buttons. Why this takes y'all 15 minutes to do is beyond me. There's a lot of things I don't understand. I don't understand why so many juniors can sit in my room all day and do nothing. But a lot of you do. Math is not hard, it's your head that's hard. One day you'll get over your stubbornness. And the day you do that, you can start having a life. Until then, it's not going to be what you want it to be. Anyways, I just typed what I wrote. Zoom 6 like I trained you to do. Remember, TI-84s cannot draw logarithms properly. They just can't do it. Anyways, there is one answer. Second trace 5. Get my little cursor close there. Enter. Press the up arrow a couple times till I see the cursor on the red curve. Enter, enter. There you go, 1.8048. Almost done. It's only 3 more to go. So here's a empirical curve problem. It's the bell curve. And the mean, the middle value, is 17.4. Since we have a standard deviation of 4, we'd have a 21.4, 25.4, and then 29.4. If we take away 4, I'd have 13.4, 9.4, 5.4. There was a couple of kids in second period that, because I graded a little bit of their class, that were below the 5.4. Pretty bad. Anyways, then one standard deviation of the mean, you account for 34% of the graph. Within two standard, you account for 68%. Within 2 standard deviations is 95. 95 minus 68 is 27. 27 cut in half is 13.5. This little guy right here is going to be 2.35. So is that little guy right there by the concept of symmetry. And the tails are each 0.15 of a percent. These are percentages. Alright, what percentage of scores lie above 21.4? That's going to be the 13.5, the 2.35, and the 0.15. That's going to be 16%. A very common number when you're working with the empirical curve. What interval of scores represent plus or minus 2 standard deviations of the mean? If you go left 2 standard deviations, you're there. If you go right 2 standard deviations, you're there. So scores that are between 9.4 to 25.4. That would be an interval. The bottom 16, if you focus on these 3 numbers, they add up to 16%. So that would be scores less than or equal to 13.4. Round 2 of the bell curve there. Moving forward. The base of a statue is created by placing 12 rectangular concrete blocks on the ground to create a larger rectangle. The blocks have length 2x, width x plus 2, and height x. So we're going to take 12 of these. Here's a block. There's going to be 12 of them. And this thing has length 2x, width x plus 2, and height x. Anyways, volume of a box is length, width, height. So volume is 2x, x plus 2, and then height x. And I'm just going to put these 2 pieces together. They give me 2x squared, x plus 2. Now, there's 12 of them. The volume of 12 would be 12 times 2x squared times x plus 2, which is nothing more than 24x squared times x plus 2. Easy peasy. And the last one, which is a Venn diagram for the most part, it says you can use formulas, and I just really don't want to use formulas. Not when I can just do a Venn diagram. Let's just take this out. And obviously the part one, I need to redo this one, but part one, we draw the Venn diagram. So this is a large class of juniors, about 2 dozen high schools. There's 150 total kids in it. We're only interested right now in the kids who play football and basketball. So we're going to have a big circle for football. And since there's some that play both, I'm going to have another circle for basketball. And there's an intersection here. And the both area is right here. And there's 12 kids. Now 40 play football. 40 minus 12 is 28. So this is going to be 28. 30 play basketball. 30 minus 12 is 18. So this is 18. Alright, now I can answer all my questions. Find the probability we play football and basketball. Well, that's just the overlap. That's 12 kids out of 150, which I don't really care what you do. You can give it to me as a decimal or whatever, reduced fraction. It doesn't really bother me too much. But if I take my 12, I divide it by 150, I would get 8%, or 2/25. And I'll take either answer. What was that, 2/25? Yeah. I don't really care which one you do. Find the probability of playing football given they play basketball. So I'm only focused on this, the basketball. There's 30 total people in that circle. 12 play football. It's 12 in 30. So 12 out of 30 is 0.4, 40%, or 2/5, right? Yeah. All right, probability of not F, the probability of not playing football. Well, there was 150 total children. Only 28 play football, right? So that means there's 150 minus 28 that don't play football. That's 122. Total population was 150. And again, just reduce the fraction. We get that right there, 81.33%. Or 61/75. All right. What is the probability of football or basketball? Football or basketball. So we're going to take these three numbers right here and put them together. There are 58 kids. If you add these three things together, there are 58 kids that play football or basketball. All right. No, it's 58 is not a number you get up here, but there's 58 total here out of a total population of 150. And I had more to say, I just forgot it. About 38.67%. Or reduced fractions, 29/75. And that, boys and girls, is the completion of the first of many things I had to do today. There's your twin for Friday's quiz. I hope they go well. I hope you decide you want to start learning something. Or, if I bother to do this one more year, I'll see you next year.